Hey YouTube, this is Blaze back again. Just wanted to make a quick video on actually rebuilding one of these cylinders and take you through the process. I've kind of been in and out of this little project for about a month now, and this is actually, I only have 2 cylinders left now, and they're both sitting here ready to get built. So I thought I'd walk you through this process real quick. One of the things about it though is these cylinders are a little bit tough to build, even though they're the smaller of them. Like these come apart pretty easy, but sometimes getting the smaller seals in are a bit more of a pain in the butt. So let's just see how tough it is today, anyways, we'll get started. Okay, so to actually build one of these cylinders, you have this big nut right here. It's called a gland nut, and well, actually, you see the holes in the back. You use a special kind of tool. It's actually this tool right here. Let me see. I'm not very good at videos right now, but we're getting better. Anyways, this tool here, it's actually an adjustable spanner wrench, and it has a 1/4 inch and 5/16 dowel pins, and then of course, you put a 3/4 here, and you loosen it up. You can loosen it up right here to adjust it out, but it should be set for this. But anyways, it just basically, it kind of just fits into the holes on the front of this thing like so. Well, my lighting sucks out here. Anyways, so that's kind of how it works. But anyways, you just unscrew this, and there's a bunch of seals inside, which we'll get to. And then once you get it slid out, you come down here and you unscrew this nut, which I should have done on camera, but you would have watched me get my tail whipped. But anyhow, so they're usually pretty big and pretty tight, and they're covered, as you can see, they're covered with, you can see they're not, but they're covered in red Loctite, so they're really stuck in there. Pretty much every one I run into. So what I did, I put a pry bar inside of a big pipe and run it way underneath my big toolbox over here, so I knew it wouldn't lift that up. I knew something else was going to give first. So anyways, then I got this pull handle right here. It's about, I don't know, about 4 foot long, maybe 40 inches or something. Who knows? Anyways, so that's how I broke it loose, and of course I use the oil impact to take it apart. So anyhow, let's get over here to the bench, and I'll show you how to get them apart and put new seals and stuff in. Okay, so we're here at the bench, and as you can see, we have done a bunch of seals so far. Anyway, so we're going to go through and look at the different seals in here. Now on this one, this is our end cap. If you remember that we just took off the end over there, so basically it only has 3 seals. It's these 2 seals, and underneath this one, which we'll go ahead and pop this one out, and I'll show you. Putting them back in is a trick, but anyways, these are, you see how this is separated out right here? This didn't just break like that. It's actually designed like that, which I'll show you a better view of it in the new seal. But basically when it goes in, it pops together like that. So anyways, so see what I was saying? There's another rubber seal underneath it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get those off of there. Get rid of that one. And then this one right here is just a simple little. Alright, so now that one's ready to be cleaned up. Now this one is a little different. If you'll notice, there's 2 seals on here. One is just like a regular round O-ring, like so, and then the other is a flat type O-ring, which they call a, that one flew out of the picture. So, but anyways, I have another one here. So anyways, as you can see, this is just a flat, it's a flat little ring. Anyways, it's a backup ring for it. Now, okay, so this one has like 4 separate seals inside of it. It has your top seal, which is like your scraper ring, which is what cleans your cylinder piston off as it comes in and out. So this actually is mounted what would normally typically look to be upside down, but it's to keep things from getting inside instead of like seals normally keep things in. This is to keep things out, so it goes in upside down. See if you can see down inside here. So there's the outer seal we just talked about. Then there's another seal right below it right here. And then there's a thin little ring seal right there. Okay? And then below that, let's flip it over. Probably see better from this side. There's a big flat type seal right here. Okay? See that green? Okay? So that's about the best. Anyways, we'll see them as we take them out. Let me get the seal kit package and I'll show you the seals from the package. Just so you know what I'm talking about. So this right here is essentially this ring, which we'll look at them when we get ready to put them on also, but I just wanted to show you. You see how that ring is actually split already? See there? So that's so it can stretch out so you can put it on, and then you'll see how we close it back up. So anyways, this seal here, this is the seal that's in the top that goes in, what I said looks like it would be upside down. Okay? Then that middle seal we were trying to look at is this rubber seal here, and it goes in how you normally would think, like this one goes in facing out, this one goes facing down. Same thing with this one. You have this other little thin seal. This is the next one down the list. It faces down as well. And of course, here's the little flat ring we talked about right here. And remember, these would go like this on the gland nut, flat on top. Okay. And then this is the little seal that was in the bottom. See how it separates there. Anyways, we'll look at them as we put them in. Alright, get these off to the side, and we'll start getting this thing apart. So the first thing you do, I have this seal puller, and I do it a couple different ways. It all depends on how it wants to work out. So what I normally try to do is just get the hook of my pick right here, and get it right underneath the edge of that upper seal, the green seal in this case, but they're not always that color. And just tap and get my tool underneath it. Sometimes it doesn't work like you want it to, especially on these seals. Let me try something else. Sometimes you can take a screwdriver and put it right there and get underneath the edge of that thing and drive the little screwdriver right under it. See it coming up there? We got her now. Yes, sir. So there's the seal. Alright. Toss it with our great big pile of them over there. Now, some of these things, man, can really be a pain in the tail to get out, I promise you. So, normally I take my little small screwdriver, and I'm just trying. Sometimes you got to try different stuff. So we'll just see. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it gets my tail whipped for me. All I'm trying to do is get drove in behind that seal so I can pull it out some. See, I got it drove. Now I got it out enough where I can drive my screwdriver down into the seal. And now I got it. I can pull it on up out of there now. See there? See how I got the screwdriver drove through that seal? And see, when I put it in, I started in at an angle trying to drive in, and then as it went in a little bit, I picked it up and drove it through so that I'd be able to pry it out, because you see it's a rubbery type seal. So let's see if we can get as fortunate with the rest of them, and this will turn into a pretty good video. This is the one down here now, this little small one. You know, I know you think smaller is easier. I can promise you, this little seal right here can be cantankerous. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my flat pick, or my curved pick, I'm just trying to work it underneath that seal, and then into the seal, and try to pull it out of there a little bit. Oh, like that right there. See what I did with this one was I took my pick, I went down under the seal, like that's why I had my hand out pushing, trying to force this thing in there, and then I turned it. You can see the hole where as I got in there and turned it, popped it up through there, I was able to pry it back out of there. So again, a little rubbery seal, but they're not all, even though they're rubber, they're not that easy to work with. This one's just doing good because it's on the camera. Some of them other ones, boy, they made me work for it. Okay, so now we're down to the seal on the inside. And basically all I try to do is just get under a little corner and convince it to pop out of there, but it wants to spin around in a circle on you sometimes. And you might be able to get in there and hang on to it. All you got to really try to do is get behind it one time. And if you do, alright, see there? Now how we in behind it? Now I'll just sit there and try to roll that thing up in there. Make it smaller. Get a bigger screwdriver to pry on that dude with now. But you don't want too big of screwdrivers trying to work in here with this stuff. You know, I know bigger screwdrivers have more power, but the truth is they got old bigger heads and they get you in a lot of trouble. So sometimes it's just as easy to work with smaller ones. Alright, so there's that little seal out. Alright, not too bad. So I'm going to run over here to the parts cleaner real quick and clean these things up. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera for a second because when I turn the air on and all that stuff, it's going to get noisy and whatnot. So anyhow, I'm going to stop this camera real fast to go clean these up. And we'll be right back. Alright, so we got everything cleaned up now. We're ready to start putting our seals back on. Alright, we go back. Remember the little rubber seal I told you about? We got a little rubber seal and a little funky seal with a little bend thing in it. Right here. Alright, so we'll take off with it first. This thing's not the easiest one to get on, that's for sure. You gotta be careful about it wanting to roll over on you and stuff. I usually just try to get it on there and pry it on there, but I guess since it came apart so easy for the camera, it's gonna be a real pain in the tail to put together for the camera. So, anyways, I'll roll it down on there, slide it down to where it goes. Sorry about that rattling. That's a cut-off saw over there, just a rattling away. Probably should have moved it off, but it don't bother me so much when I ain't making the video. Anyway, just see how I'm working that seal on there without letting it roll over on me. I don't even know if it matters if it rolls over or not, but I just try not to let it to. Alright, give everything a second to settle down. It's a little bit bigger because, you know, we did a lot of stretching out on it. Alright, now remember the seal with the little slash in it right there. See it? Alright. I'll slide it down on there. Get it up to that little bump. Now I usually just take my little screwdriver and kind of work it up on there. Real gentle like so you don't damage it. Be careful not to tear it. Just keep pushing it up on there like so. See how that thing's separating on there now? Try to go ahead and get on in a little loop there. Alright, now see how when you got it in there, what you do is you take the thing and kind of twist it back in place, twist it around and close it, and pop it down inside there. Okay? Just like brand new money. Now, this is where our split is for this one. Let's flip it over directly 180 degrees. Throw all the good seals and the old seals together. So, see the split for this one? So we're going to put it 180 degrees opposite of the other one. And it just works on just like that. I mean, that seal there don't get any easier. So there you go. There's the cap. It's ready to go. This is the way it would go. This goes all, this would be the cylinder would go in here and the bolt goes through right there. So that's what it looks like. Okay? Alright. Now for the next one. What I usually do is I start with this seal here, the lower seal in here, and what I do is I make a fold in it like this, and you see how it makes this right here stick out? Okay, so actually I said that wrong. I fold it this way. I bent it the wrong way. Bend it like this. See, this is the way it is. See how my cap's sitting? See the grooves? Flip the grooves downward. I bend it this way, and then it'll make it into a shape kind of like that. You stick it all the way down into the third groove down there, and it will just slide right in there. Get it started in there, and then just keep pushing it down till it pops in. It'll get to that last little segment, and it'll have a little bubble in there, and usually I can just take my fingernail and push the bubble down, and it'll pop right in. So There it is. I don't know if you can see, but it's down in there beautifully now, all the way down on the bottom there. Okay, now, this seal, this is the cantankerous little seal right here. So, fortunately, this isn't the smallest cylinder. But the larger cylinders, they pop in pretty easy. These one here, be ready for a fight. Like I said, this one ain't as bad, but I usually just try to start pushing it in there. This ain't gonna be as bad as the bucket tilt cylinder, I can promise you. Alright, so just keep working them in there. See how I'm pushing, I'm taking my thumb and pushing here at the bubble, and then my other thumb I'm pushing it into the groove in there that it goes into. You see I just now got it started, so what you're trying to do is push it down into the middle of the hole so that it can have room. This is where it gets hard. The last little bit, you're gonna fight to do tooth and nail to get in there. Sometimes you'll have to find you something to push on it with. You always got to be careful not to damage that seal though. Most of the time I can just get them in there. Like I said, these smaller ones are right more pain in the tail than the bigger ones. I'm just about to whoop it though. I'll take my little pick here with the bend. I don't want to poke it. I'm just going to use the flat part of that and push this little bubble right here down. I don't know if y'all can see this, but push against it. Hope my pick don't slip past, and I have to work it out of there. Oh, just like that. But it almost got it. About got it. Alright, so just 37 minutes and 54 seconds later, we are successful. We have a nice, good, clean seal in there. Now on the outside, oh, we forgot this one. We put this one in. Remember how I told you this one here, just kind of fold it in, slide it down there until it hits this little groove in there. And once it's in this groove, you should be able to separate it and push this seam right here. When you put it in, it'll be folded on top of itself like this. And when you get it out and into the groove correctly, it'll pop together and be straight just like that. Okay. So now that since we got this thing facing downward, we'll put our flat ring on first. Go ahead and get it down in the groove there. What I do is I usually just go ahead and check it and make sure it's straight. Go ahead and push it up to the top and make sure it's not in my way. Make sure it's not rolled over, kinked over, or anything like that. So now it's done. Take a regular seal, drop it down on there. It goes above the flat ring so that when I flip it over, it's below the flat ring. Okay, so there it is. Flat ring, round ring. Okay. Now, you got your top seal here. Remember, this one goes in upside down because this is keeping stuff out, not in. Alright, what I do, let me get this thing opened up. This is just gasket sealer. Just take a little bit of it, put a little bit on my finger, come around the side here, make a little seal inside the cap here. It's basically just to make sure that seal doesn't pop out. I usually do it like this when I can, because if you put it on the seal itself, when you put it in, it'll make a big mess everywhere. Okay, so we got that. Now, set our seal down into the groove here. Here's our seal driver. Place on top there. Just tap it a little bit. What I do, sometimes like you can see how it's starting to drive a little crooked. You can kind of feel that when you're doing it. So what I'll do is I will actually tilt my seal driver and tap the other side a little bit to flatten it out. See, now it's even. Okay, so I kind of like hold my seal driver. I guess I use my fingers against this to make sure that it's going up into the seam. And you can just use my fingers to adjust it. You're not tapping it very hard. It doesn't take very much. You see, I'm just barely tapping on the thing. So you get done, you got a nice clean seal there. Go ahead and wipe it off for any little sealant they got in there. Well, that seal should never move. Everything should be good to go. And here's the two pieces. Now, we're going to lube this up. I'll be right back with the lube. Okay, so what I actually do here,
This is what I use for assembly lube for, well, not just for this, but for a lot of stuff. And basically what I do is I take, it's 1 part motor oil. Like, it doesn't really matter, 30 weight, 50 weight, whatever, it doesn't matter. Motor oil is too thin to really use for assembly lube, but I take it and mix it with mix it 50-50 with like motor honey, the oil treatment, quote unquote, the stuff you put in cars when you're trying to cheat somebody on them. So anyways, I take that and mix it 50-50 pretty much, and it makes a sticky substance that's actually spreadable, as you can see. Well, as you can't see. As you can see here, it makes a spreadable substance that's, you know, it's very sticky, and but it's pliable also. It's slick and pliable, and not just a sticky mess. So, anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to clean up the cylinder shaft, and we're going to lube this down, and then we're going to, you know, of course, it slides on the shaft like so, and then, like I said, just, you know, this will slide onto the shaft like so, down onto the shaft, and then this will go like this against it, and the bolt will go through the end here. Okay, so let's take a look at how that's going to work out. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I just got the shaft here. I'm just going to clean it, make sure I don't have any like debris or anything like that on it. No kind of little garbage or anything like that. Okay, so we got it ready to go. Okay. Okay, as you can see, we've got it all nice and lubricated down in there. Everything ready to go. We're going to see if we can get this thing on here. Now remember, this part faces downward. Most of the time it'll generally just pop right down on there. I just watch it and double check everything, make sure all my seals are still in place. And you should just be able to slide. If you have to, it'll have a good bit of resistance, but you shouldn't have to beat on it or anything like that. It should just slide down on there, or maybe one of your seals will misalign. All right, let's get the cap real quick. Okay, so we've got our end cap here and our bolt. Don't forget to put your thread lock on. We're gonna get our shaft up again. Remember which way it goes on there. Bolt. We got things straight on there. There we go. Alright, we're going to take our impact and just tighten that bolt up real quick. Alright, now we got her tight. We'll lay her back down and hook her to our bar and give it a little bit of that German torque, what they call it, Guden type, the Guden type torque. Okay, so as you can see, what I've done is I got a couple blocks down there, and I got the tube for my cylinder ready to go in. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take that lube that we talked about earlier. We come in here. We're going to lube this thing up. Make sure that all around here, we're just going to have to make the transition in there. It's nice and lubricated. We don't want any of them rubber seals to grab, pinch, turn, or want any issues out of them. We're also going to go to that same shaft. We're going to lube the mess out of it too. Okay, so one thing you don't want to forget is, hard to hold this thing one hand, with this O-ring right here, don't forget to put lube on that too. Alright, so let's see. So do is set this dude right straight down there. You try to keep it as straight as possible. And then just wiggle a little bit. Oh, see that? You see how easy it's falling down in there? I thought everything was already drained out of these cylinders, but I guess I was wrong. So anyways, you see how easy it slid down in there? That's what it should do. Sometimes if you don't get them lined up correctly, what will actually happen is your seal will get pinched in there, and it'll be very hard to try to work with. So all I'm trying to do right now is just get this gland nut started. Once I get it started where it can't fall apart, or no trash can get in it, I'll put it on the tractor and
finish tightening that. Okay. All right. So that's it. Pop that thing on the tractor. Finish tightening it up. And well, that wasn't my toe. All right, y'all. Well, that's just a little quick video from the shop today on building cylinders for. Well, this is for my case backhoe, but it's really for any cylinder you build. Same basic principles. So anyways, I appreciate y'all taking time today to watch this video, and I hope it helped you out. Hope you learned something from it. Hope till next time. I'll see you then.